October. The energy of October is all about being in the flow of momentum. I'm Daphne, your purpose and spiritual confidence alchemist, here with your energetic forecast for October. When I look off to the side, I'm checking my notes to make sure I don't miss anything of this action-packed month for you. Momentum requires leadership energy. 8 energy in October brings your inner and outer strengths under the spotlight for you to be aware of them both and reminding you that you need to lean into both your inner and outer strengths to be in the flow of momentum. So we have 2 8 energy months this year that prepare us for the 8 energy that 2024 carries all year. 8 energy can be extremely expansive and magnetic when you're aligned, you trust, and you're in the flow. Or you can become stuck and isolated in one of the bubbles of the 8. So you know the 8 is the infinity sign standing upwards, right? We are meant to flow our inner and outer strengths. If you imagine one of the bubbles is the inner strengths, one is the outer, we flow using them both. And we stay in momentum, we expand, we're magnetic, all is well. If, however, we choose to remain in one of those bubbles, we're denying a whole chunk of us. And we're not in flow because we're stuck in that space where we are stuck. Being in, the choice is always yours. You get to choose. Are you going to be in flow or are you going to stay in one of the bubbles? It's up to you, sweetie. Being in flow in 8 energy becomes easier the more that you embody trust, which is, of course, the energy of the whole of 2023. So your values and your action come into play in momentum. You're in action, and now it's time to keep going. The 7 energy of September kind of got us doing lots of things over here and what you're going to choose, and you're doing all the things. Now we need to focus. Blinkers on, stay in momentum. Know your lane, know what your intention is, know where you're heading, and get it done. In this energy, it's important to always keep your values front and center. Your inner values and your outer values need to agree. So by that I mean the inner values that you feel on the outside and how they show up in your world, in your behavior, need to agree. And your values and your actions need to agree and be aligned. How will your actions uphold your values and what you stand for? And let's get really clear. What do you stand for and what do you stand against? So when you focus on doing more or trying harder in order to get the outcomes you want, you are staying in one of the bubbles of the 8, and you're not allowing the energy and momentum that will propel you forward to your success to flow. It takes consistency. Momentum, once it's flowing, doesn't require hard work to keep it going. Rather than being a burden or an obligation, all it requires is consistent action. So think about a factory that keeps going 24/7, 365 days a year. It takes so much effort to shut it down and reopen it that it's more efficient to keep it going all day, every day. You're not a machine, we know that, right? So there's no need for you to keep going all day, every day. Being in momentum requires you to stay in action, to know what needs done consistently, and to do it. Momentum requires leadership energy. It takes a leader who leads by doing rather than dictating to others how they should, in inverted commas, do it. A leader who's willing to get in and do rather than shout and bark orders. A leader who's part of a team. Leadership is first who you are being and then what you do. You are the leader of your own life, your own business, and your own team, even if that team is you fulfilling different roles in your business. So let's get clear. Who are you as a leader? When are you dedicated to being a kind and trustworthy leader? What must you do every day to stay in momentum without being swept away by the current? And it's time to decide, what are the actions you must do in your life and business to be in momentum? And what habits do you need to foster so that you can keep taking those actions consistently? Diamond energy is present for the first 8 days of October, and it mirrors and doubles the 8 energy of October, asking you to really double down on staying in momentum, to be committed, to be focused, to know your priorities. So as I said before, be focused, know what your priorities are, blinkers on. Don't worry about anything else, do what you need to do. It reminds you that it's imperative for you to be in integrity for your inner and outer values to agree. Again, let's get clear. What are your priorities? What are you focusing on? What are you committed to? How will your actions uphold your values and what you stand for? Club energy is present in October from the 9th through to the 21st, and it wants to expand your curiosity and creativity. It asks you to be fascinated and deeply curious as you imagine what's possible when you remember that your ROI, your return on investment, comes in many forms other than money. Oftentimes we look for that ROI just in money. That's sometimes how it shows up, not always. What is truly important for you? In what situations are your values aligned with your self-worth? And when aren't they? And what makes the difference? Heart energy in October begins on October 22nd through to the end of the month, and it amplifies the energy of 2023, asking you to embody trust more than ever before as you keep your momentum going. How can you fall deeper in love with your purpose, your why you do what you do? How dedicated are you to being a consistent and trustworthy leader? It takes dedication, it takes commitment to be that. So remember, as you flow through October, momentum is not a burden or an obligation, nor does it require overworking. What it does require is you to lead you, to trust you, to love you, to be connected with your inner wisdom, your inner knowing, and to align your actions with your values. Have a wonderful October. Remember, as always, this is universal energy. We all experience it like the weather. You have your own energy bubble. That is just yours. No one else has one quite like yours. That's what makes you unique. Through numerology, Pythagorean and Egyptian numerology, I can read that for you. And that comes up with so much information to help you and guide you through life and in your business, to guide you and support you through situations. And it has been claimed that numerology is the original psychology, the original counseling, the original, because we can figure so much stuff out and work out what's going on, what's really going on under the under easily. And then we can proactively move forward, making decisions about what you want to do with the situation and the energy that's available for you, the energy that you carry. So if you would like help with any of that so that you can maximize your potential as a leader, send me a message and we'll have a conversation and see whether working together is a fit for us both. And in the meantime, remember, momentum requires leadership energy. And October is all about you being in the flow of momentum.